When it comes to Quest 2 batteries, we're seeing more and more innovation, but you know me, my favorite has been the Bobo VR for a while with its swappable battery pack. And even other companies like Kiwi just dropped their battery straps and it's still a built-in battery that you gotta charge and use. Well, GeekVR is stepping in with their Q2 Pro with magnetic battery. Sound familiar? Let's check it out. Now this is a weird one, and hopefully the prices will still be the same or even better by the time all of you get to check this out. But right now it's $46 on Amazon with a $16 off coupon on Prime, meaning you can get the whole entire strap for $30, which is an extremely low price. When you figure, I think Bobo VR style straps, the lowest they've ever been is about $50. They did also send me an extra battery. We'll go over that in a minute after we check this out. GeekVR, empower your VR experience. So the included battery, the same box as you'd get if you buy one separately. I may keep the book, there may be something to learn. Strap comes in two different pieces here. Oh boy. Main strap itself, and then the rear head pad. Head pad doesn't tell you which side's which, but it looks pretty clear by the look of it. Before I put that on, actually, the battery design on the inside looks very familiar. Looks like it's got two magnets on the outside and the contact points in the middle. Similar, but not identical. Bobo does the same thing, but they put the magnets in a different spot in the contacts. This looks like it's clearly only meant to go one way, but I feel like it wouldn't have been a bad idea to at least label it, which they did not do. Look at that, I've got a Quest with no strap on it already. Slides on just like any Halo. It's actually got some like sticky kind of rubber in there to really help it hold on tight. And something that they mentioned is that just because it can slide a long ways in and there is a stopper here, you don't necessarily want to put it all the way in. So we're gonna get it close and then test out the feel before we put it the rest of the way on. Gear seems pretty solid. It definitely sounds like plastic, but the opening and closing gives me confidence in it. It does that thing that pretty much all straps do, where if you push it, it does go in. The B2 Pro battery, boy, the name sounds familiar too. Kind of an interesting and sleek battery design. USB-C to USB-C cable. 5,000 milliamp hours versus a Bobo VR we used to use 5,200 milliamp hours. Probably not something you're really gonna notice the difference in that small, plus efficiencies could make it lose more or less battery. There's a beep. It's not the most satisfying beep in the world, but there is a beep. It's got one green light on it to show that it's on. Okay, it is a double tap to turn it off and a single tap to turn it on, but you can't really tell that because it takes a little while. There's kind of a delay. Important testing here. There's a tiny bit of adjustability with the forehead part, like it moves a little, but it wouldn't stay tight where you put it. It just kind of lands there. You've got to rely more on the adjustment of the actual Quest arms, which can move. Why is it that with the Bobo VR, I never question which side is the top or bottom? So the Bobo VR is tapered, going up just a little bit, just subtle, but enough that when I pick one up, even with the headset on, I don't know what's going on, I can always know which way it's gonna go. With this, it's not as clear. When you can't really see what you're doing, I'm like trying to figure out how to know which way to put it on in the back. It feels awkward to put the battery in, but what they did that I actually kind of like, it feels awkward at first because you find the hole and you try to reach in there without being able to see and make sure it lands right. But what it actually enables you to do is you can just find that slot and drop it. I thought there'd be a way for it to go in and go wrong. And if you really misaligned it, you could get it to hang there and do this number. But for the most part, if you just take it back and drop it, it seems to land where it's supposed to be. Boy, that said, the head strap itself is not terribly comfortable. I'm having a problem, and I do have a big wide head, so that might be part of it. But these right here are touching me in the side of my head. I'm noticing that right off the bat. And this rear pad, I wish it was made of something flexible, because the plastic itself, I mean, it's kind of flexible, but it's nothing like something like this that's like silicone that just really conforms to your head. This, I feel certain parts of it are touching me more than others. They're contacting differently. I'm gonna try and flip it over just to see if I did have it the wrong way. But the head strap overall suffers from problems that some of these head straps do, which is that they make the memory foam or whatever type of padding they use very thick and hard padding, and so it actually doesn't conform to your head as well. It's like the difference between an overly supportive pillow and a soft pillow. This is the overly supportive one, but the problem with that then is if it's not conforming exactly to your head shape, it doesn't feel great. Flipping that over, I do feel like that's fitting the back of my head a little better though. How could you know which way is the top automatically? There's not really a way to tell. I guess if you felt the buttons, then you'd kind of know, okay, the buttons are the top. The beep is nice. It doesn't sound as pleasing as the Bobo VR, but it's still a good beep. It gives you confidence that it's there and it's working. It's not bad, I just don't love it. Overall, it's holding onto my head well, it's putting the weight up on my forehead where I want it. Unfortunately, even though there's a joint, you can't really do the pull up and get it out of your eyes. Like it just falls right back on your face. You could kind of bend the Quest arms. No, I'm gonna say the pull up on this just isn't really gonna work. It's just not gonna be a thing for you. If this thing's on your head, it's staying on your head. Oh, I just wish these were not pushing on the sides of my head right here. That is a noticeable problem I'm having, and that comes down to my head shape, but it's driving me crazy right now. I feel like I'm gonna have a headache in 5 minutes with this. Well, we'll find out. Let me take some minutes and go game and come back to you and see. Oh. Testing didn't go amazingly well. I'll get into that in a second here, but there were some funny things in the instructions I wanted to point out. It is forbidden to throw the product in a fire or water, and it is forbidden to expose to the sun or water. It is also forbidden to disassemble, hit hard, or drop the product without authorization. I'm a rebel. So I gotta get the rear part back. Toss me that. So I had a personal problem with the head strap that I will walk you through what it was, but I did have John and Nat both try it and they didn't experience exactly the same thing. Now, when you see the head strap from the top like this, it looks, I would imagine a head looks like from the top if you actually mapped it out. But what I found is when it's tipped up, these sides start to come in a little bit more. And so for me, when I had this thing on, the pressure right here was very noticeable. I mean, like right now, it's pushing on both sides. It's not just resting, it's like pushing in a little bit. And within 5 or 10 minutes, my head was getting very annoyed. I was starting to get that headache you get when something is pushing on your temples. So with my big round head, it does not feel good at all to me. I could not use this head strap for any length of time. I did want to specify that other people had tried it, didn't feel the same way. So that doesn't necessarily mean it's wrong for everyone, but it's definitely wrong for me. Outside of that factor, comfort is still not incredible. It's not bad for a Halo strap. It does a decent job here. This part was the part that kept making me think I wanted something different. I just wanted more flexibility. And I do think about the evolution of the Bobo VR straps. This wasn't the first strap. This is actually, I mean, they had the M2, then the M2 Pro, then the M2 Plus. The Plus really nailed it. And I feel like I would keep an eye on this company because if they make another iteration, I feel like they just might nail it. Right here could be a little wider for people like me, and back here could be flexible. That said, this thing currently is at such a low price, some of you still may want to consider it. Some of you on Discord contacted me and you were looking at, and so what I will say to you, battery, does a good job swapping out. You can get a second battery. Whole head strap right now is 30 bucks, which is really, really low, but a second battery is also 30 bucks. So if you're hoping to get 2 batteries, that may not seem like as good of a deal, but if you just wanted the one, you can get it on Amazon Prime and you have that free return window. So maybe some of you out there who were thinking about it, try it out and tell me. I'd love to know because you can always return it at least. But for me, I can't wear the strap, so I personally wouldn't recommend it. But I will leave a link with all of these caveats in the description for those of you who are interested in trying it while it's so cheap. Because I mean, you could probably buy 2 of these for a price of a Bobo, which is weirdly cheap. A few other nitpicky little details. I kind of wish that this part right here, they'd made some sort of like a ridge because it's pretty hard to mess it up. But the one time you do and it falls kind of down in there, it's wiggling around and it's not snapped and it's annoying. If it just had that ridge, this thing, no matter how you let go of it, it would always land on the magnet. And then this sticker right here they put on it, again, I'm being nitpicky, but I hate when they put these cheap stickers on anything because I tried to peel it once already and it was leaving all this residue. But maybe if I try from the other side, come on.
Yep, that's me.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine.
It's a minor annoyance, but like if you're gonna put a sticker on it, either don't or put a sticker that comes off easier. Because now I gotta sit there and peel this crap off because I'm OCD about sticky goop. So Geek, I think you were close. I think there's a few changes I would like to see personally. But if any of you out there do say, hey, it's too cheap to pass up, I would love to know in the comments what you think after you get it and you've tried it out for a while too. But I wanna say thank you so much for coming out and being here with me today. I'll see you in another reality.